Live from Atlanta, Georgia. It's Truthtv, hosted by Truthtv.
Welcome to Truthtv. Respect A Power, respect A Power. Thank you for the cash app. Thank you. Salute in respect to all the people that gonna come in and watch part 2 of Know Your Rights. We had a spirited discussion this morning about knowing your rights when stopped by the police officer. And this one right here is going to be a good one itself. So let's get started on this, okay? Let's see. I'm gonna put it up here on the screen. Respect, Marie as respect. Know your right, race, ethnicity, or national origin-based discrimination. We need to know our rights about that too. We need to know our rights about that too. Okay, we need to know our rights about that too. Okay, let me go back. I want to expand the screen so y'all can see too. Okay, so y'all can see too. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go down here. We're gonna go down. What does discrimination on basis of race, ethnicity, or national origin looks like? What does it look like? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. What do it look like? Do we even know what it looks like? Discrimination can be anything that's that's that somebody don't like, whatever. But here's the definition: it is illegal. Illegal discrimination. It is illegal discrimination if a person or a company intentionally treats you differently based on your race and ethnicity or national origin. Okay, you see that, right? You see that? I won't discrimination. It can be about your race and ethnicity. See, for example, a landlord doesn't rent to a black people. Is that discrimination? Is that discrimination? Yes, it is. Likewise, it is illegal for an employer to refuse to hire a person of color because of that person's race and ethnicity or national origin. Some forms of illegal discrimination may be subvert. For example, an employee or a housing or credit provider may adopt policies that cause unjustified and disproportionate harm to people of a particular race, ethnicity, or national origin. For example, refusing to hire anyone with any sort of criminal record proportionately hurts Black and Latin job applicants. We know that. See, we know it hurts. Because think about it. Our men, our women that gets out of prison, gets out of jail, they already behind the 8 ball. Because they went to prison, went to jail. That for putting further behind the 8 ball is the color of their skin. That double whammy. That employee or that person that won't give them a loan because of the color of their skin, that hurts. Then top it all off, they've been in jail or prison and still don't want to give them a job, nor they qualified to have a job. Okay, let's keep going. See, I'm bringing the tough issues right now. We're going to have fun a little bit later in the show, okay? Many Kinds of conviction include an old conviction will have nothing to do with an applicant's ability to do the job, which is fact. It is facts. It is facts, right? It is facts. Because I got a conviction, because if you got a conviction or anybody else got a conviction, that do not have nothing to do with can I do my job right? Can I do the job? So that goes that. The blanket policy excluding people with criminal record would amount to illegal disparate impact discrimination. Additionally, depending on the reason why this particular policy was adopted, the fact could show that the policy was driven by anxiety to exclude people of color with criminal record, in which case the policy would constitute illegal, intentional, racist discrimination as well. You come on back up, hey, Pop. You come on back up. I could put you. I could put you up here. We could talk about this, right? We could talk about this. Now let's get to our rights. As far as discrimination, federal anti-discrimination laws prohibit discrimination in housing, credit, employment, and public accommodations like restaurant, movie theaters, parks, and trains. You cannot be denied a home, a job, or service at a business that is open to the public because of your race and ethnicity or national origin, and you cannot be charged a different price because of your race and ethnicity or national origin. Wow, that's deep in it. See, see, we don't look at stuff like that as blacks. As a black racist society, we don't look at nothing like that. State and local laws may also provide protection against discrimination on the basis of race and ethnicity. Okay, we they're supposed to provide protection. Just think if police called on us, because we think we go into this restaurant, it's open to the public, they call the police and they use some kind of racial slurs and say we don't serve your kind here. They call the police on us. Who do you think the side the police going to take? Whose side the police going to take? That discrimination. It was not because we've been rude, obnoxious, or whatever. It wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of that. It was because of our skin color. Respect, walk at your respect, respect, respect. Okay, let's continue. What to do if you believe your rights have been violated? This is what we should do right here. Get all the document that might support your claim. Email, text messages, application form, for example, and locate the people who witnessed the discriminatory conduct. Okay, you know what the email for? You know what the email for? The contact the corporate office. Contact the corporate office. So one thing I learned in my years of working in businesses, food industry, and different type of business, one thing corporate don't like, and business don't like, is a bad rap. It's a bad rap. Okay. Here's another thing you should do where your rights have been believe your rights have been. Write down a timeline of events, all the facts that led you to believe you were discriminated against. Hit that like button when you come in. Hit that like button when you come in. Respect Cam T. Respect Cam T. Cam T is in the house. See, that's what we should do. Okay, let's go on to the next one. You can show that you're being subject to intentional discrimination by pointing to people of different race, ethnicity, or national origin who receive better treatment, or by pointing to action by the landlord or employee that don't make sense in the absence of discrimination. Hmm. let me see a show of flames or thumbs up that you have been some types of form of discrimination no matter where you went. Restaurant, stores. See, there's another form of discrimination that people don't see. How many people have been followed around uh let's say a Target, Walmart, uh the mall, while black? Who've been followed around the stores? Who've been followed around stores? See, that's discrimination. A black person walks in the store, they get followed around. And first assumption with them, they can't afford this, what's in the store. But another race comes in, they're not followed around the store. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Figure out which government agency can take your complaint. This can be somewhat confusing because there are federal, state, and local agencies that may be able to help. And the process varies depending upon where you live. Start with the website for the Federal Agency for Housing, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for Job, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, or for consumer credit, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Your city or town may also have its own civil or human rights agency that can help. It don't feel good, do it? It don't feel good being followed around that store. Like you can't afford what's in that store. See, I'm like, right. I'm not going to file a complaint against them. Not me. I'm not going to file a complaint against them. You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna call corporate, and when you go to their website, they go to their site on Google their store, put a bad review, and tell them why I'm putting a bad review on them, and let people know. And guess what? Then I'm gonna write. People are supposed to write. Then I'm coming. I'm gonna let it be known in public what happened to me. Then I'm going in front of that store and let people know what happened to me in that store. Long as I'm on public property, not on the store property. Hey, you going to that store? Guess what? They discriminate against me. They follow me around the whole store. Okay, let's go on. The agency will ask you to file a description of your complaint with any supporting document and conduct an investigation at no cost to you. Be aware that the time period for filing a complaint may be short. The process may result in monetary damages for you as well as the opportunity to be considered for the job or housing issue. And it could require the employer or housing provider to change its policy going forward. You may also consider filing a lawsuit in state or federal court. Who like to get sued? What company like to get sued? I don't think nobody like to get sued. Nobody like to get sued. If you got a question in your mind, could you face retaliation for filing a complaint? Yes, you probably could. You probably could file. You probably could face retaliation. Okay. Take note of any action that your current landlord or employer takes against you after learning of your complaint or lawsuit. That conduct could violate your First Amendment right to be free from retaliation for complaining about discrimination. See, we know as black people, we file a complaint. We still want that job because it's a good paying job. And if we get that job, how does that that manager or whoever over us going to treat us when we get that job. Okay. If this happens, you can make a separate complaint with the appropriate agency for retaliation or amend your lawsuit to include retaliation claim. See, they're going to cause the company, whoever owns the house, the property, the apartments that you live in, it's going to cost them more money. Then they got all your ducks in a row. Got all your ducks in a row. And they know ain't no snowflake chance, and you know what? No snowflake chance in hell they're gonna win their case against you because you got your ducks lying in a row. They're gonna come with a offer, try to butter you up. Nah, I'm not taking no offer. Would you take an offer? No, because guess what? It ain't just about me. If you do it to me, who did you do it to before? Who you gonna do it to after? That's what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking at. Race and ethnicity and national origin based discrimination at work. You cannot be denied a job, promotion, or raise based on your race, ethnicity, or national origin. Who went and found out the job application? Qualified for the job. Know you were qualified. Maybe you were overqualified, maybe. But you know you were qualified for the job. But that you felt like that you didn't get the job because of your skin color. Who ever felt like that? I know I felt like that sometimes. I know I have felt like that sometimes. Here's some example of illegal discrimination under the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Act include any decision by an employer to refuse to hire or to impose conditions based upon race, ethnicity, or national origin. This also includes taking action such as setting requirements for hiring, which are not actually required to do the work, in which exclude people based on race and ethnicity, national origin, or any other protected category. The Constitution also prevent the government from subjecting you to worse treatment because of your race and ethnicity. See, people don't know. People don't know. See, let's go to what do you do if you believe your rights have been violated. Get all the document, which we should, that might support your claim. Email, text messages, application forms, for example, and locate the people with this distributor. It's the same as the first one. Same as the first one. And you still can sue them for monetary damages, as well as the opportunity to be considered for the job. See, it's the same as the housing. You still can sue monetary gain and for the housing. And the same thing, I could face retaliation for filing a complaint. And you still could file a separate complaint with appropriate agencies for retaliation or amend your lawsuit to include retaliation claim. That's big right there. They're very big right there, right? They're very, very big. They're very big. Okay. The housing is the same way. If you apply to rent an apartment or purchase a house and are told that the landlord or owner doesn't rent or sell to black people. See, this one right here is kind of tricky. See, this one right here is kind of tricky because you might qualify for the apartment or the house, whatever, they might say something that you might not take heed to, but another race in the same situation that you in, they get the house, get the apartment. Hmm. Same situation, different race. That's discrimination. A housing or credit provider has a policy that causes unjustified and disproportionate harm to people of a particular race. For example, you are denied a mortgage loan because of your race, or agency refuses to provide loans or insurance coverage because a property is located in a particular area, or refuses to provide loans or insurance coverage or equal terms. That's discrimination. See, you got to watch certain terms, certain words that some agents use in it, what they say and what they got on their contract. See, you got to watch out for that. You're right. You already know the Federal Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing and lending. The Federal Equal Credit Opportunity Act also provides protection for discrimination in lending. Both statutes exhibit prohibit discrimination on the basis of race, color, and or national origin. State and local civil / human rights law typically prohibit discrimination in housing and housing related service. You already know what to do when you feel like your rights are being violated. You already got all the document, give it to all the right people. Guess what? It's gonna be is what it is. Then start the other paperwork, take them to the doctor on court, hit them in the pocket. Guess you could face retaliation. Okay, here we go. We know this go on sometimes. We know this go on sometimes. Race is racist ethnicity or national origin based discrimination at school and colleges. Example of discrimination in schools or on campus. Segregation of classes or school sponsored activity on the basis of student race, ethnicity, or national origin. Denial or language service to English learners. Discipline student of one race, ethnicity, or national origin, but not others. That going on all the time. They're going on all the time. They're going on all the time. Providing different resources to students based on their race, ethnicity, or national origin. See, harassment or profiling based on race, ethnicity, or national origin by faculty for the student or school staff. See, we see faculty, the school faculty or the school staff should know better and do better. Am I right? Should they do better? But at the same time, if a fellow student is harassing this other race, if let's say we already know the white student harasses this black student or black female or black male and saying the N-word, calling it harassing them every day, and this teacher don't say nothing, whether it's the teacher black, white, whatever, they just as guilty as the student. That's discrimination. That's discrimination. Targeting of student or particular race that's for searches or arrests. How many times have a teacher or administrator, faculty searched a student of a different race for something that he don't have or she don't have, but the other race have? See, as black kids, our kids go to school. What do you think that it's going to be. Our kids can't tell us that, hey, so and so did this to me in school. Okay. So and so did this to me in school. What is your thought about that? That so and so did this to me in school? Then what you do? Go talk to the teacher, go talk to the principal. You're gonna believe your kid. You're gonna believe your child that something went wrong. Something went very wrong. Something went wrong. Just think about it. Under the Title IX of the Civil Rights Act, discrimination based on race, color, or national origin in programs or activities receiving federal financial assistance is prohibited. This includes schools and colleges that receive funding from the U.S. Department of Education. Note, some private schools do not receive any federal funding, so Title IX protection do not apply to them, which is ridiculous. Which is ridiculous. Which I think, I don't care if the private school is getting federal funding or not. It should be no discrimination anyway in that school. Your educational institute must respond to insist or discrimination or harassment on basis of race, is ethnicity, or national origin that deny or limit your ability to take part in and benefit from your school educational program and activities. So we already know, get all the documents. Get all the documents. See, that's what we have right there. Is all the documents. All the documents. So guess what? It is what it is. We got to do our due diligence to see what's up. If it's hurting us, hurting our kids, and we can't not go to no let's say nobody business, go get a job, go to school, go anywhere in this life without being discriminated against, we got to do something about it. We got to show that, hey, this got to stop. Because discrimination been going on too long. Because guess what? These companies, these schools make too much money. We send our kids there to get an education, not to be harassed. We send them there to get school lesson, learn something. But guess what? We're gonna have to start teaching them know your rights, so they know what to do. We got to sit our kids down, our partner down, so they can know their rights. This right here is just a little something, right? That we need to get into it, because it's about 4 more know your rights things that I'm gonna do. Beside the first one this morning at 11 o'clock, and this one, them two major ones right there: discrimination and how to act when stopped by a police officer. See, when you go file your paperwork, make sure you got all your paperwork all in line. document, witnesses, time, day, and what was said to your best of your knowledge. Write it down. Write it down. Because it is what it is. It is what it is. Because we cannot do this by ourselves. We got to do it as a family, as a unit, as a community. We got to know our rights. Because that show isn't going to tell us our rights. That show's not going to tell us our right. If you out there listening and watching, listening or watching, who you think they're going to tell us our rights? You're right, record it. Yes, record it. You're right. If that job you really want and you get that job and they try to retaliate on you, write it down and record it. They can't do that. You go to get rid of a house or rent an apartment and you feel like they discriminate against you and you get it because you made a complaint and you suing them. Write it down. And then all of a sudden, they want to raise your rent. You talk to a neighbor, they rent still saying that's your award for their raise it. That retaliation. Hit them in the pocket. See, I don't think nobody out there listening or watching this live that I'm doing right now like to lose money. Anybody out there like to lose money? Do anybody like to lose money? I don't like. Hey, I don't like to lose money. But at the same time, we got to know our rights. Right, hey, pal. I don't like to lose money. Because guess what? You lose money. What can you do when you lose money? Nothing. Them big corporations, them big loan places, them big realtors company, them big whoever owned the department, they don't want to lose no money. The jobs you're applying for, them corporate people, them companies do not want to lose no money. Because you feel like you've been discriminated against. File all your proper paperwork. Take their butt to court. Pay all your ducks in a row. And hit them in the pockets. Don't sell it for nothing less. Do not sell it for nothing less. Okay? Don't sell it for nothing less. I'm gonna try to play a little something for you. Try to. Let's see. Let's see. Can I get it to play first? I hope it'll play. I'm gonna get a little bigger, but guess what? It is what it is. We just gotta keep growing with each other. I love everybody. And I will try to come back tonight with something special. And the night will be an open panel. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love for y'all to come on the panel to discuss anything you would love to discuss. I love to see y'all back here. Have anybody learned something today from this lesson? Show me some flame if you learned a little something from the days 2 lesson, know your rights. Cause we're gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep pushing out these hard topics, these 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 tough topics that need to be discussed, that we need to know. We need to know this stuff. So hey, if you got any good show ideas, if you got any good show ideas for the people in the chat, for the people in the chat, you got any tough subject that you want me to discuss on my show, that is my email address. Email it to me. Write it down. Email it to me. I will read it. I will research it, and we will talk about it. We will talk about it. I know this is a short version of from earlier today, but it needs to be talked about. But I think everybody else is out and about. But hey, I'm doing my thing. I love you. Peace, love, respect to Marie S., Miss A. Powell, Milwaukee Jeff. Respect, respect, and respect to everybody that's out there. Again, Miss Ace Powers. Respect to you. Thank you for the cash app. I thank you. We love you. We love everybody. We trying to get our community back together to know things that we should know, that we should been taught, that we should have learned. Let's test it. Let's teach our next generation about know their rights, so they can teach their kids, and their kids teach their kids, and on and on. Cause it just don't stop with us. It goes on to the next generation and next generation. It's been some powerful information today, but thank you. I love you. Peace. We're getting ready to roll out of here.